Hey everybody, this is Johnny Dim. Sorry I haven't put up a lot of videos in the last couple weeks. Been really busy with Comic Palooza and stuff. But trying to get better. Trying not to be a bitch. Trying to do things the way I should. If I'm going to do this social media stuff, I need to do it right. But the point of this particular video was I wanted to talk a little bit about the recent the Anthony Bourdain suicide. That one, we've had a couple people in the last couple years, celebrities that we all know. They've killed themselves, and this one in particular hit me harder than I thought it would. I don't know if if it was just timing and I was just kind of like just vulnerable at the moment, but I did have. I did watch a lot of Parts Unknown, his show on CNN. I watched a lot of it, and I don't know. I really like the guy. A friend of mine put it really well when he explained, because he said he was having the same kind of trouble and it hit him hard too. But he explained it well in saying that he didn't have the same veneer that a lot of personalities do on TV, where you felt like you were getting the real Anthony Bourdain every time you watched an episode of that. He had a lot of insight. He I don't know. He was a genuine guy. For the longest time when watching Parts Unknown, I really wanted him to do a Houston episode, and I kept wondering when the Houston episode was coming. And they eventually did one, and this is what I had put on Facebook. I thought it was in true Anthony Bourdain fashion that the episode ended up like nothing I anticipated. Like, you saw parts of Houston that were, not well known, especially nationally, were not well known. I mean, we get some credit now for being diverse, because we are actually, some statistics and studies will say that Houston's the most diverse city in the country, and a lot of people don't give us credit for that. But he really explored that avenue, and we got to see some really cool things in that episode. But aside from all that, I think the other reason that I kind of was torn up about his suicide was that it reminded me of someone else. And there was a friend of mine who committed suicide a few years ago, and I don't think I ever really got a lot of closure with that. I mean, how can you really? It started off, this guy was and actually I shared the story on Reddit, and that's when it really hit me why this thing really upset me so much. But anyway, so his story, my friend's story, is that he was from Virginia. We were work colleagues, and we worked together at the same store. And it was an important relationship that I had with him, because he was kind of a mentor, but he was a mentor because he worked for this company for a long time, most of his adult life, and so he was just working at a new location here. And another reason it was important to me is because it was really the first. Excuse me, sorry, I'm drinking a smoothie. I just finished my workout. That's why I'm a little. Yeah, I got my things on. Anyway, so it was the first job that I really gave a shit about, and it was a turning point for me, because I finally felt like a productive adult for the first time. I had a lot of depression and stuff like that, issues in high school, and I struggled in my early 20s, and just things never came that easy for me when it came to dealing with the public, really. I mean, that's really what it boils down to. I had trouble dealing with society and people. It was a really hard time, and this was the first job where I realized that talking to people, selling we were selling printers and office furniture, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, and I did okay. I actually worked my way up, partly because of him and his leadership, to an assistant manager's position, and we were both assistant managers. And when he moved down here, didn't have a lot of friends. He kind of had kind of an obtuse personality. He would often say that one of his skill sets, his best skill set, was being an asshole. He was really good at it, and usually when people call themselves an asshole and are proud of it, that's obnoxious. But with him, it was pretty genuine. He could be really cutting, like, and it was a skill for him. Like, he was really good at it. We talked about. It was funny because he would talk about how people in Texas, their minds and just everything. Sorry, there's a wasp next to me. That makes for a good video. But anyway, he would joke a lot about people's minds in Texas working slower. So he would tell these really, like, these jokes, and it would take me a minute, and he would just kind of like wait for it, and then he could see the moment where I got the joke. Now I'm sure some of my friends just think I'm slow personally, but anyway, so like we had fun. We had a lot of fun. I remember my last day at the company. We just goofed around in the manager's office all day. He ended up getting in trouble for it, but it was well worth it, because that was really the last time I got to spend a significant amount of time with him. The story gets sadder because he moved down here because of his girlfriend. By this time, after I had left the company and all that, he ended up getting married to her, and he ended up having twin boys with her, and I don't think they were 3 years old yet when he decided to kill himself. So it's a really sad story. So that's kind of where I'm at. And then what really was hard is because I felt like I could have done something to stop him. I would invite him all the time to parties and stuff like that. I would invite him out to, different social gatherings, just to hang out, and it was usually through Facebook events and stuff like that. And it wasn't enough, because those things are easy to ignore, and I should have tried harder. I didn't want to push too hard and make it sound like I was desperate to hang out with him, because it was a fear of not looking cool or whatever. Like, that's really what it was. Like, I didn't want to make myself out to be like a desperate idiot. Anyway, so that's the crux of it. That's what really got to me, was that when he finally did it, it was hard, because I felt like I could have done something more, and I really could have. And I think that's the lesson that I think that everyone can take away from that situation, and what I'm dealing with when in this is, like, if you have someone, if you know someone that just doesn't want to get out of the house, is likes to stay by themselves. I mean, that's fine. You can be an introvert, but just check on them. Go see them. Don't leave it up to everybody. Don't leave it to them to come to you. Go to them. Put in a little bit extra effort, especially if you think that person's worth a damn. You won't regret it. I mean, the worst that could happen is to tell you to go away. But yeah, that's it. I mean, Anthony Bourdain actually reminds me of him, not just because they both committed suicide. My friend and Anthony Bourdain. It's because they both they actually had similar personalities, and to some degree, both tall white guys. I think Anthony Bourdain is tall. He always looks tall. I don't know if that's always because he's always visiting Asian countries where everyone's shorter, because that would make him look tall. It'd make anybody look tall, any American. But anyway, I feel better getting this out. At least it's here, out there, so people can actually look at it. I'm gonna put the in that Reddit post that I put my story on there. Someone had put on there that I kind of wish there was a suicide chat, like a text chat over the computer instead of the hotline, because people that are dealing with this stuff, they oftentimes don't want to talk to people, but they'll text. I mean, that's why it's a common phenomenon. People are more willing to say things in text than say out loud. It's harder to say out loud. It feels more real when you say it verbally instead of just texting. And you can say anything in text. That's why we have so many trolls online. But anyway, I think that's all I got. I hope that this helps somebody. If it helps somebody, then I'm glad that I put it out. But thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go do the rest of my Saturday here. I'm glad that I started out with a workout. I'm glad I did the workout before doing this video, because it helps. The workout kind of helps me get some endorphins, I guess, going, get some positive vibes going. The last day or so has been really rough for me, and this could have been a real ugly video. So thanks for watching to the end. I'm not gonna say anything else. Anything else kind of just cheapens what I'm saying. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm gonna go play some board games for the rest of the day. Later.